Yes, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, welcome back to Football Heritage TV. We can all blame Jay for being 15 minutes late. I've never known anything like it. And then we start the show and he's buggered off to do his hair. So other than that, I hope everybody is all right. The international break is over. Thank the footballing gods that the international break is over. And we move towards continuing the Premier League, where Spurs are sitting nice and pretty after a very, very good start this season. We're going to be talking to Jay in a minute when he's back about all things Tottenham Hotspur, about what he thinks to the start of the season, the transfer window, and what we can achieve this year. We'll look forward to Aston Villa as well. And also, I'm guessing we're going to have to talk, aren't we, about the news today. Is it big news? Is it breaking news? Or is this what Spurs have been doing for the last couple of years, but just without putting a tag on it because Paratici wasn't officially allowed to be a Spurs employee? We'll have a chat about it. We'll see what's different. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Maybe there are, maybe there aren't. Maybe this model can work and has some credit to it. We'll get there in a minute. If Jay, I cannot believe I've never known anything like this. 15 minutes late to the show and then misses the first 2 minutes of the show.
You got to leave the people wanting more. You got to leave the people wanting more. Apologies, people. Apologies. I know you all have places to be, but obviously this is the best place to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. How are you, my man? Other than being terrible with timekeeping, how you doing? You all right?
I'm all right. I'm good. It's internet. You know what? International break. It's been good to kind of just like switch off a little bit. You know, like I will be honest though, yeah. It's a bit weird, the feeling that I have for Spurs at the moment. Do you know what I mean? It's a little, you know, Levy's gone, Son's gone. It's a bit like, okay, it's kind of like a new era. I'm kind of getting used to it a little bit. So
but that's good, right? It's not been the greatest era in the world, is it? Like, it's okay to have a new era, yeah?
Yeah, no, 100%. But it's like, what, Stockholm Syndrome? You know, familiarity breeds contempt. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like, kind of like, you know, I love my captain. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like that sometimes. So
you loved your captain and you missed Daniel leaving.
I love my captain. What can I say?
Oh, mate.
I'm good. Thanks for asking. Yourself?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, listen, I feel the complete opposite. For me, the international break as a YouTuber is the worst time in the world. It's hard work, but we're coming through the other side. And Spurs play this weekend, so we will have a little look at the Villa game. We'll have a look at we'll start with the breaking news from today, and we'll also have a look at what you've made at the start of the season. So let's start with the news of today. I mean, people are passing it off as great big breaking news. The way I look at it, Jay, is Paratici's been there, but just not in the official capacity.
Yeah,
him and Lang have been working together. So is this breaking news as big and amazing as people think it is, or is this now just putting a label on what we've already been doing this summer?
I think a bit of both. Like, I think if you look at it, a lot of people were saying either or kind of thing. A lot of people were having the opinion. There was quite a lot of Lang versus Paratici. A lot of the time I was looking at it, people were talking about who Paratici signed, who Lang signed, comparing them, comparing the eras. And I think this is cool in a way where you get the best of both worlds. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's like you're smashing together the kind of, I don't know, you can maybe say razzmatazz of Paratici versus the more data driven side of Lang. And I think as a combination, it should work well. I've always looked at Lang as being somebody who I kind of like his data-led approach, but I almost felt like, you know, buying Prem proven, I appreciate it more. I'm a Prem guy. You know, people will always talk about other leagues. I've always been a Prem proven guy. So, do you know what I mean? Like, you're paying a premium for, I would say the two highest premiums you can pay, Prem proven and football IQ. You pay, like, I'll pay big money for both of those, you know, because what you're limiting is kind of like the acclimatization period, right? So you look at that and you say, Lang, you know, he's looking at Solanke's, You know, he wanted Eze, bought Kudus, interested in Simmons. He's been very, from a first team player point of view, Prem proven. Whereas Paratici was more European focused. You know, like we'll get players from Italy. We got Van der Ven. You know, it's we got Van der Ven, and we got all these different kind of players. So it's like you put together both the styles, and I think as long as you have an understanding and clear lines, I think it could be really, really good. It's now I actually think about it, I wouldn't say excited, but I'm like this works. You've got Vinay who's doing like the CEO stuff, the football stuff. You've got Lang who's doing a lot of the data-driven stuff, buying the best young players. I mean, on paper, I think it looks great.
Is there a danger? Obviously, I was having this chat with Sean earlier, and his concern was, and I think a valid one. Is there a danger of too many chefs in the kitchen? Because alongside Lang and Paratici, they are also talking about hiring a director of football operations. Can we have too many people in there running things? And how can they all be? Who are they all reporting into? And are the lines going to be blurred?
Specialism is always good. Like, you know, if you think about work and everything like that, like niche and stuff like that, you might say to yourself, okay, like if you do your job, say even as a content creator, you're creating content for Spurs. Yeah, you look at all the different content you could create, but you're just doing Spurs. Someone else might do Serie A, blah, blah, blah. So your specialism can then maximize the quality level that you can give. So from a structure point of view, completely right. Yeah, very much a danger of that. As long as everyone doesn't know what they're doing and every role isn't allocated. Vinay strikes me as a guy who has a little bit of organization about him, and he wants to hire good people and leave them to do their job. So the more specialism, the better. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I see it. You know,
Yeah, look, I'm intrigued to see what happens. I don't think the word for me is quite yet excitement. I'm more intrigued as to what's gonna occur, who's gonna do what happens, what's gonna happen with the fan base as well. You know, a player we like, who are we giving credit to? A player we don't like, who are we blaming? And you know, those are the things that I think are going to be very, very interesting, because for years it's just been everyone has blamed Levy for everything, whether that's right or wrong. Everyone has just kind of blamed Levy for everything. And I guess while we're waiting for Jay to come back, I'll ask you lot in the chat. Is there a danger from your point of view? Is it going to be that there's too many chefs in that kitchen that have a different idea of how long the steak should be cooked for? I don't know. I'm asking you lot in the chat, but I guess it's allocation of. Levy was very, very empowering, right? Levy was very, very controlling.
Yeah.
And took a lot on himself. Are we just seeing that these jobs are now being dished out to multiple people rather than Daniel Levy as such?
Yeah, like, I mean, like sometimes you see it, like innovation is always good. Yeah, like sometimes I look at Arsenal and I look at some of the stuff they do, and I'm like, they're pretty modern, mainly from the fashion point of view. But like even us, like if you look at Spurs' say like training range, fashion range over the last year plus, we have like loads more stuff, loads more collaborations, and it's little, but all of these areas across football can be specialized and maximized. So to me, I just look at this from a point of view of like, you know, what we're getting is high quality people trying to do their job in hopefully a good structure. That structure wasn't possible under Levy. It was impossible. You couldn't have a structure because you have somebody that micromanages stuff. Yeah. So if you micromanage stuff to that level, people can't do their job. And if people don't feel like they can do their job, they're not going to want to stay. You know, so we might have lost a lot of good people down to Daniel Levy. Now, that's not to say those good people would have been a success, but it's just to say that they weren't given the opportunity to be a success regardless, right?
Sure.
So coming straight away with this kind of structure, you say, okay, cool, this is the structure. This is how we're approaching it. Like, I have to give it a chance to fail. Like, I'm not going to, like, I have no idea how it will work, whether or not one man controlling everything in the palm of his hand is better than multiple people engaging. You know, you look at Chelsea when they started, you know, they didn't get it right. second season kind of got getting 3 years, £1 billion. I mean, that's a lot of good people who are doing their job to the best of their ability, and they're still finishing 12th. So I'm like, oh, I don't really know. So I look forward to seeing what happens, but no preconceived idea.
Yeah, I think it's what's interesting about this for me, Jay, is, you know, if I take your mind back to the day after we've won the Europa League final, who would have thought that after that day that everything was going to change? You know, manager and all of his backroom staff have gone. The medical team have gone. Donna Cullen, Daniel Levy. You know, you've now got a different director of football strategy. That are we changing? Did everything need to be changed? And is changing it in one foul swoop? Because it really is. It's been one summer. Everything's changed. Is it too much too soon? Or is it like, right, let's rip the Band-Aid off and here's the new era for Tottenham Hotspur?
Depends on what we qualify as change, right? Now,
sure.
If you look at broader speaking, has the change already been happening? Do you see what I mean? But we maybe don't give credit because it was Levy. But the change is happening. So the quality level, the specialization, all this sort of stuff, maybe it started already. But the overhaul of it and this level is when you do an experiment, I've always thought, don't change everything. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're running an experiment, if you change all the variables, how are you going to know which of the variables actually work and which ones don't? Gotcha. So it's not even like I disagree with the logic of changing everything. I'm just like, well, maybe some of the other stuff worked. I don't know what worked, what didn't work, but you're going to change everything. So I'm one of these things where I'm a fan of expertise. Do you know what I mean? So if a doctor tells me something, I'm going to listen to him because he's a doctor. Like, you know, if a mechanic tells me something, you're the mechanic. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you mean you're not going to listen to like Alexa or Siri? Or
Okay. If AI tells me this is how you should speak to like fucking Google Home, I'll be like, okay, I'll listen to you. You know better than me. So I'm there now, and I'm like, okay, these guys in these positions, getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds, are saying this is what it should be. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to you. Like, I'm gonna give you a chance to show me you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I mean, look, let's. I want to have a look at the summer. Obviously, summer transfer windows are always high pressured for fans because we've all got different opinions of what good looks like, what patience should look like. Are the club showing ambition? You know, in the end, how would you rate our summer transfer window? Did we do what we needed to do? Can we all look back and say, yeah, it was good? Can we look back and think we could have done a bit more? Where are you at with the window?
I was happy with the window. Like, I think the window as is, I was like, I could probably say, looking back, I was really happy with the window because like it was a hard window to kind of buy for to an extent. It was just like, you want quality, like how much quality can you put in the team? And it's like, how many like positions can you upgrade? How many first team players can you buy? Is always a good way of looking at it. So I'm like, okay, you've managed to buy 2, 3, 4 first team players, right? So to me, that's a good window. Like, if you're buying players to upgrade, so you know, we won the Europa League. So the Europa League winners bought 4 starters. Do you know what I mean? Bought 3 starters. So to me, that's good. Then you're trying to buy other players, you know, and if you try and buy those other players, but you can't. And, you know, we had the conversation about Tel and Odebear, and I was saying, okay, I'd rather go with Tel and Odebear than buy somebody who's marginally better than them, but the ceiling isn't sky high. I think you were saying, you know, but if
we're never going to agree on this one, Jay. We're never going to agree 100%. On that. I don't want those 2 in my football team. Yeah, just 100%. So you know.
But my thing was always circled back to, if you buy, so if you look at Tel and Odebear, right? So Tel's France under-21 captain, right? We can all agree that France are probably top 2, top 3 nations for talent. Yeah. in
I'll
the
give you
world.
that.
Yeah. So Tel is the captain of one of the top 2-3 nations for talent in the world. Yeah.
Sure.
Other Bears are starting winger as well, and that. So I'm like, okay, if this is what we've got, we're not in the slums. Like, do you know what I mean? We just got two highly rated young players.
Standards,
If we
standards.
must play these
Oh,
players till January, oh, that woe is me. First world problems. Do you know what I mean?
no,
First world problems.
no,
Having
no.
having
We're a
some really
Champions League
talented under
team.
21 players who might have to play games and grow as players. Oh, but boo-hoo,
No,
Tottenham fans. Why are we crying about that, man? Come on.
because we are Tottenham and because we are now going into a Champions League. So I'll be honest, right? I agree with your assessment of the window. Other than I have said, and I will never move from this. I do think it was utter negligence to not bring in what we needed on the left-hand side. That's only my opinion. I'm not saying anyone else needs to agree with that. But for me, for three reasons, Jay. One, whether or not Sonny was the player he was of old, which I think we all agree he wasn't. He was getting older and the touch goes and the pace goes, all that kind of thing. It was Son. It was one of your best players for the last decade. You knew he was going, you had to replace. So there's my first issue. Secondly, we needed a left winger. Whether it's Sonny or not you're replacing, we needed one. Third, I feel it's left the team really unbalanced. So for me, I still look at this window with yeah, we did some really good things. Listen, I can't complain. Kudus, love him. I wanted Kudus. Like that was what I said at the beginning of the summer. If we get Kudus, I love it. If we get Palhinha, that's my choice for number 6. Javi Simmons, I'll take all day long. But that left-sided, Jay, is just, I can't let it go. It's eating at me. It's eating at me.
I hear it. I hear it. It's like, that ingrowing hair won't come out. Like, it's just like, I hear it. No, I'm with you on that. Yeah. However, yeah, like, you're not wrong, but you're also not right. Your opinion to me is in the middle, and I think that it's not a unfair opinion to have. Negligence sounds a little harsh, a little heavy.
You've got to buy what you lead.
A little, it feels a little heavy, Seb.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Me taking my chicken Caesar salad, leaving it on the sides, going upstairs, coming down 6 hours later, and realizing it. That's negligence. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's negligence. Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question, right? If let's use them lot down the road, right? Let's use them lot down the road. If Arsenal right now, let's say next summer, Bukayo Saka is sold to insert big club. I don't know, Real Madrid, Liverpool, I don't know, whoever. Do we truly believe that Arsenal wouldn't replace Bukayo Saka? Do we truly believe that they would go, oh, well, we've lost our I don't care who their best player is, but arguably their best player. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about it. We'll worry about that next year. Do we believe that that's the case? Or do we believe they'd go, no, we're going to replace him?
I think you're not wrong, but the counter, to be fair, argument would be, well, new managers come in. Yeah. He's got Kudus. Okay. He's got a number of wingers, a number of young wingers. Maybe he thinks some of them are better than they are. Maybe he has to see them up close. He doesn't know. If we know now what we know, we would have bought Semenyo at the time for the money we were being quoted, because the information and the way it played out happened later. Eze, left wing /10. So would people be as upset about us not getting a left winger if we'd been able to secure Eze? I don't know. Maybe not. Sure. So when I look at it, I'm like, well, negligence, no. I'd say suboptimal, is a better way of describing it. It wasn't perfect, but
I just think you don't leave yourself
is not terrible.
That wide open. For me, I just feel like I look at this team right now, and by the way, listen, I think everybody knows I'm a huge Thomas Frank fan. There is no issue. I think the stick the man gets, I don't understand. I think he's working wonders with what he's got, if we're brutally honest. I think he's missing a top centre forward, he's missing a top left winger. I think he's doing a great job. I just look and I think, imagine we'd given him a top left winger as well. I think I think we'd be top. Not that it matters after 7 games, but I think we'd be top. I think we'd also be seeing a lot more of this free-flowing, fluid football that people want to see because we'd have balance. We wouldn't have had to be doing the Javi Simmons on the left trial, Odegaard trial, Tel trial. So I think that, listen, this is my thing to deal with. This is just, I'm not telling anybody to feel the way I feel. I just feel like we missed there. But Palhinha, top signing. Kudus, top signing. Mawani, we'll see. Right, I think we can all agree that at the moment we have no idea. And I'm a big fan of Javi Simmons as well. I think he needs some time. And I think that he will come good. I don't know what you think about those 3 players.
Yeah, no, I think Javi Simmons, no, I've got no concerns. I always, not that I was never as high on Javi Simmons. Destiny, as he always said, yeah, wasn't as high on. Doesn't matter. So I was never on high on Javi Simmons as maybe other people, but I've always thought he's a good player. Like for example, Thomas Frank, right? You know, I've seen him with AD Christian Eriksen, you know, like after death, Christian Eriksen, and also Damsgaard. So like, you know, I know what this guy can do with a good playmaker. He would have made we would have fed families on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day if he'd had Maddison playing as the playmaker in this team this season. Because what he did with Eriksen, what he's done with Damsgaard, I know. So whether it takes 3 weeks, 6 months, 1 year, he will get Javi Simmons delivering as a playmaker in this team because I have seen him do it with multiple other playmakers. So I have no concerns, about that whatsoever. So good signing. You know, semantics about who else we could have got, blah, blah, blah. The timing, it is what it is. Palhinha, good player.
Could I just give credit to Spurs for that, by the way? Let me give credit to Spurs because I feel like we don't do this enough. Not you. I feel like, you know, we didn't get Eze and it was the end of the world for that 24 hours. You know, it was, oh my God, what are we going to do? But to be fair to them, they acted, reacted and moved decisively to get Simmons. So I feel like when we're going to critique the club, I think we've also got to credit the club for moving quickly. I don't care who it was. I don't care if it was Vinay. I don't care if it was Lang, Paratici, Levy. I don't care. They acted quickly and got that done. So I just got to put that in.
No, it's definitely. And I think, the club should take appreciation from the fact we can do stuff. Timing was nice. I think club looked at how Chelsea were behaving and noticed there was an opportunity. Again, I think the timing is important. If people want to criticize the club, it's because I don't think we could have got him earlier. It's, you know, that's one of the main defenses I had for the club about Eze. In the cold light of day, if you look back, the club, from a timing point of view, they had to wait for Arsenal's interest to go away / go down because he was always the preference. You can then criticize the club for not getting the deal done quicker or issuing him an ultimatum. Come on, let's do it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'll allow that. But then, you know, because it's Arsenal, fairly the club, the fans feel, you know, embarrassed and stuff like that. And it's a fair emotion, you know. I felt it was embarrassing to lose out to him in that way. But, you know, we got Javi Simmons, younger player, huge upside, you know, a player that we would have liked but would have preferred Chelsea initially. So, you know, it all works out pretty well. And that's why, you know, the left winger, I get why people want a complete team straight away, but I'm also like, let's see what the options can do. And, you know, we always have the option to buy somebody. It's not, you know, this is when you have a good coach. It's not always that you'll have every piece. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Do you know what I mean? I've seen Pep win a title with Fabian Delph playing left back. Do you know what I mean? It's like, do you know what I mean? You make.
Who were the other 10 players?
That's what. Semantics. That's not in Savva. That was really. You know what? You're the first person to pull me up on the Delph reference. I really just normally just
no. You're right. We've seen Chelsea. Chelsea had Victor Moses as a right wing back. Like, you know, he was never a right wing back, and Chelsea went and look. I get it, and I think it's just I love watching wingers in full flow, Jay, and that takes me on to Kudus, right? Kudus is if you said to me, what does Savva like in a footballer, right? That's my wide guy, right? Quick, skillful, immaculate first touch, strong. Like he is super strong, holds up the ball. He can beat a player, then beats him again, then beats his mate, then gets great delivery. Mate, I love him. I genuinely, this is the most excited I've been for a player at Spurs for a very long time, to be honest. A very long time. I love him. I think he's brilliant.
You know what? Yeah, I was thinking about. I was having a conversation with this, and somebody was like, "You bought Kudus and Simmons," and I was like, Kulu and Madison, and I was like, how much better are those two than having Kulu and Madison? And I was like, I think maybe marginally better if you take the combination, because I said with Kudus, my thing was initially I was like, because Kulusevski in that first 6 months was so good. Do you know what I mean? Like his first run, maybe had a dodgy first game or two, but then he was really. I think Kulusevski was very, very good. Like in that first Conte team. Do you know what I mean? Towards the running. So when Kudus first came in, like I kind of think it's like having Dembele on the right wing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because he's Kulu's a really unique footballer for me, because he's not your out and out winger that's going to go and beat a man. He's not the pacey, tricky winger like that. But he's a very technically sound footballer that almost he's not a winger and he's not a 10. He's almost that kind of hybrid. If there's a position in between the 10 and the right winger, he's that. He's just in there.
100%. And my only thing with him is like he is just a very good technical. He's better than I thought he was. Like I'll be honest, like he's actually a better player than I thought he was. Because I always thought, I guess we're maximizing the ball carrying, the protection, using him to take us up the pitch, retaining possession. So we're getting a lot of those attributes out of him, which is increasing his value and importance. And I guess to another extent, it's like we're not necessarily utilizing as much the final ball, the assist, because it's probably a bit under what he should have for assists based on how much ball he gets in good positions. So the trade-off is kind of there. That's when you look at like a Saka or something. Yeah, and then you look at like the Elises and you look at Kudus, you're just like that little bit of decision making, which I'm sure will come. But the rest of it is great, and it's he's a very big player, and he kind of is now. I think Johnson's in a lot of trouble because it's like I've always like looked at Johnson as a player who can contribute, but when Kulusevski's back, you essentially have another left-footed right winger who can play in that position, cutting in. So it allows you.
Jay, even sorry to cut you off, without Kulusevski back, right? If you look at it, let's be fair. You're not dropping Kudus, right? Let's be brutally honest. Unless he's got an injury, you're not dropping Kudus, right?
Yeah.
The left winger, he seems to now have set on Odegaard. Up front soon, you're going to have Solanke, Richarlison, Mwani when they're all fit. He's not a number 10. Johnson, for me, you're right. He's banging trouble. I don't think he'll be here next year. I genuinely don't.
I think a serious FC probably sells him in the summer because it's just his fit doesn't fit anymore. And it's just it's like Frank now. And you didn't mention Tel. And I think Tel's an interesting one because
let's have some more Mathys Tel.
Because let's be honest on Tel, yeah. Like I don't want to give him a round of applause yet. He's not getting a round of applause from me, but he's getting some. All right, kid, you're showing some balls, yeah. Because if you look at after the penalty, what happens? Bad performance in the game probably contributed to us not winning. Young kid left out the Champions League squad. He's shown balls. Like he's stepped up. He's pushed himself. He's I think he'll start against Villa, you know, and I think he's scoring for his national team. He scored against Leeds. I was saying to somebody the other day on Spurs King, I was saying, this game, oh my God, yeah, this game on against Villa, yeah, is so important for Mathys Tel. It is his most important game of the season, yeah. Solanke is going to be back in the not too distant future, yeah. Muani's now fit, yeah. Richarlison will probably give the excuse we were traveling around the world, so he won't start. So Tel is probably going to start this game. Yeah, he's going to start this game, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is he's going to start this game, and he knows those three strikers are nearly ready. Yeah, Richie's probably going to come back into the team against Monaco because Tel's not eligible. Solanke's probably not fit. Muani. So it comes down to this. Yeah, Tel basically needs to score in this game against Villa. He needs to have a huge performance because if he doesn't, you know, his game time up front is going to be severely diminished once these players are fit in there. Maybe you get some less minutes, but still,
you've got to take your opportunities when they come around. You've got to, you know. And if listen, I'm not a fan of Tel. I don't hide that fact. I don't mix my words. However, what I will say is this: got your goal against Leeds. You've scored in for your under 21s. You then go and grab a goal or two against Villa. You make yourself. You're now in the conversation. No matter what a Savva thinks of you. Let's be fair. I'm a football fan. Don't know what I think. You now put yourself to the point where you're saying to Frank, I know he's fit again, but I've just scored for 3 or 4 games in a row for club and country. I'm in form. If he doesn't, and he doesn't have a good game, for me, it just falls into the bracket of, okay, the Leeds game was, I don't think it was great, but the Leeds game was an anomaly. So you're right. I do think it's a big game for him. And the problem he has got is he will be, we can argue, his 4th choice striker when you look at Muani, Solanke, Richie, Tel. So he might find it hard to get game time. He might find it hard to get game time if he doesn't impress. So
I think he's got a chance. I think if you look at it, like on the left wing options, obviously Javi Simmons might play there, but he'll probably get. I think he's still got a chance on the left wing too, and it's like I think that potentially he could go, like if Richie comes in or Solanke comes in or Muani comes in, I think Tel could still have a good chance of starting left wing as well, getting a chance there of just being moved over in that instance. Because once you're in that once he's in a good moment, he needs a bad performance or a quiet performance, and then that'll break the momentum, and then someone else will take his place. But while he's got the momentum, he just needs to keep going, and that's why I say very important for me. Yeah, like you said, very important game. I think he can do it. The kid's showing, he's got it mentally. Like he's at it. Like bad start to the season for him. Yeah, and I think he understands like he needs to contribute. And I think maybe at the beginning of the season, like all these younger players now, they know like, you know, we've got money, we've got an ambitious manager, we got ambitious targets. These guys need to try and contribute when they get minutes. So
absolutely, and especially with, I think the key thing you talked about there was players coming back, because you think at the moment this is a squad that, and this is why I love Frank, right? Thomas Frank hasn't complained once about not having Kulu, Maddison, Muani, Solanke, Dragons. He doesn't complain. He just gets on with it, right? These people have to take their chance while they're out injured, because once these guys come back, you're not getting that chance. You're not. Let's be brutally honest. What will have to happen when all 4 are fit up front for Tel to get a game above the other 3? Like it's going to be really tough. The only chance is, as you said, is going to be the left wing, because you've got Odeber and Tel and Johnson, if we can say that. So yeah, you're right. They've got to take their opportunities when they get them, and unfortunately, this isn't, as I always said, this isn't a youth club. So the age at some point is going to stop being used for them, and it's going to be, right, hang on, you got to come in and perform, because we've got a decent squad when everyone is fit. But
I use the youth card to protect the players in terms of their development, because to me it's all relative. I'm not using it as an excuse for why they should be playing in the first team, because if that's the point of their development, they should be further away from the first team. So it's your fault as a club for relying on them too much rather than their development pathway. It's like when you talk about, so it's like age group, isn't it? So obviously Tel's 20, right? So people act like he's way older, but he's 20. And so
it's because he's been around for a few years, right? Like
he has.
He was hyped at 17.
100%. And you can make the argument he's probably better at 17 than he is now. But
well, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the improvement, but that doesn't mean it won't come. And yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, 100%. So, but you look at the player and you say, right, okay, 20 years old, he is one of the best 20-year-olds in the world. Really, if you think about it, there's not loads of 20-year-olds better than him.
Oh, I'd give it a good go. I'd give it a good go. Listen,
20?
Jay, the problem.
Yeah, Premier League though as well. Before you go, so some of these players, bring those 20-year-olds to the Premier League. Are they doing whatever they're doing elsewhere?
But by the way, Lynn Simpson, listen, no, Lynn, I think Frank isn't the type to complain anyway. You talk about him stepping up to Spurs. Frank is the type of manager that says, I'm a coach. If I don't have players available, my job is to get on with it. What's the point in complaining? That's why I try not to use the players being out injured as an excuse too much, because clubs have a 25-man squad for a reason. This is the squad you put together is you saying, hey, this is me for the season. This is me until the next transfer window. What can I do? And to be fair, Frank's managing it very, very well. Let's move away from Tel. Let's move away from Tel and Kudus, etc. And before we move on completely, talk to me about Palhinha, because this guy, for me, a lot of fans were, he's 30. He's 30. I don't want him. Oh, can he run? Is he finished? He's had a big injury. Jay, for me, he's got to be the first one or two. Him and Kudus, for me, are the first two names on the team sheet. Like, he is everything for our midfield at the moment, isn't he?
Quality player. I think it's one of those things where it's like, I understand what people want in certain players, like, but I almost think, well, I'm not judging my number 10 by how many tackles he makes, so I'm not going to overly judge my ball winning midfielder on how progressive his passing is. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't.
Why is my DM not a playmaker?
Yeah, I get why people want that, but that comes down to your team structure and composition, and that's up to the manager to find a way for us to progress the ball and move the ball forward. If you want to have that kind of player, because off the ball, he's a monster. So that's one of the biggest issues we had, is that none of our DMs, none of our number sixes, they wanted to sit. None of them. Everybody wants to roam. Everyone will wander from their spot. Everyone will smell danger. Everyone will have a brain fart. Everyone will start daydreaming. Oh, what's for dinner? Oh shit, the guy's just run off me. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they're doing. But Palhinha, he's not about that life. He's about taking off his shirt after scoring a 93rd minute winner, seeing the fans complain, and then doubling down and saying happy birthday, grandma. That's the kind of DM that I've got.
Jay, can we be honest? Like, I don't know about you, but if my body looked like Palhinha's, I think I might take my shirt more.
I was, you know, you gotta be careful what platform you say. Like, they'd be like, "Oh, Jay, you're being a bit zesty." I'm like, but yeah, good bods. Like, do you know what I mean? No.
Fair play, mate.
Good bod. I was like, you know, but yeah, mom was just like, I've been working out. It's grandma's birthday. I've just scored the last minute. And it was a great finish as well. Like, and to be fair, I couldn't see us scoring in that game. So, I mean, also, the goal we conceded, it kind of bounced off him, to fall to their player. Bounced off him. Yeah. So you can make the argument that he himself felt like he contributed to us being behind. And so it meant a little bit more to him.
Do you know, I think going back to what you were saying there about the progressive passing, I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how good his passing is. Now, not the progressive passing, but I think nowadays everyone wants their number 6 or their midfielder to be Rodri. And there's a reason Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, right? Because he can do it all. Not everyone is Rodri, and we have to accept that. But that is why I've talked about this a lot, and my viewers will know. I think that I don't think it's imperative right now, but I think one of the big things we need to do next summer for me is I think we do need a ball playing number 8 that sits next to Palhinha, a conductor, somebody who gets on the ball, even like it's weird because Forest have been absolutely crap, but like an Anderson, the way Rice does it for Arsenal. The way and Adam Wharton does it for Palace, just somebody that says, I'm free, give me the ball. I think we need that because when you said about the players we've got that like to run and they don't sense the danger, that's the bracket I put Bergvall and Sarr into. It's not that I don't think they're decent footballers, but they're not sit and maintain my position footballers. They are, let me go. Is that fair?
Yeah, 100%. It's very fair. But I think it might come down to team composition, like how you want the team to play, like how we want the team to play versus how Frank wants the team to play. Yeah, and how it works together. So there's always going to be a dissonance. This is how I want the team to play. This is how Frank wants the team to play. So I'm almost like, okay. So I always try and rationalize. Okay, so it seems the manager, like, because you got to understand, like, we got Gray, Sarr, and obviously we've got Simmons and Maddison. Kulu will be back. So you got to make the argument that those players are going to probably play the 10. Do you know what I mean? So you've got Gray, Sarr, Bergvall, Bentancur, Palhinha for 2 positions. Do you see what I mean?
Completely agree.
So it's almost like, so to me, it's like Frank probably wants unless these players are going to be sold or what he's going to try and do with composition, I can't see us buying a number 8 anytime soon. And it'll be very interesting.
To see what he does on that. Because for me, I think that we've got a top number 6. I've got no problem with a number 10. I just feel that none of our 8s are that get on the ball and make the game tick over. But just quickly, whilst we've got Wolfie in the chat, everyone loves Wolfie. I think it's about time we remind ourselves of tears of joy. And if you don't know what I mean, Jay, here's Wolfie being trolled by me for his tears of joy. Enjoy the next 30 seconds, people.
Ball's whipped in. Chris Wood, surely! Get him off, man! How's he missed that? How's he missed that? How the hell is he missed? Is he offside again?
Thanks for not selling us MGW. Tears of joy, 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 tears of joy.
He was offside. I think he was actually trying to square it back.
Joy, tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy.
Savva, thank you for the £5.
I love that. I had no idea, Jay. When I put the emoji of tears of joy, I put about 50. And I had no idea that if you gave Wolfie a super chat, that it read it out. I will never stop enjoying the tears of joy. Copyright strike incoming. Oh, Wolfie. By the way, I have noticed that Wolfie's done a video in the last 24 hours saying that he has flip-flopped and he's now Anjin. So I'm looking forward to Friday morning, Wolfie. We do our shows together Friday morning. Jay, let's move away from the players that we've signed. If I had said to you 7 games or 11 games in all competitions, we've lost 1. We're 3rd in the league, 2nd best defense, 3rd highest goal scorers. We're through in the League Cup. We're sitting in the top 10 of the Champions League table. You would have bitten my hand off if I offered you that in the summer, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I was just saying, you're not unhappy at all. Like, not overly unhappy even with the performances. Just like wanting a little bit more, but like not unhappy with how we've set up, and just understanding the team's much more difficult to beat. And just a higher quality side. Like in the Premier League, you've got to be in the games. you got to be in the games. And at the moment, it's kind of like we were 17th, whether people like it or not. Like that is a very bad position. And it also, people can be like, well, there's injuries and this and that, but we also then have to play a style of football which is not exacerbating the players when we're going to be playing 60 to 70 games. So
exactly.
So then you then have to be like, okay, how do you play? What style of football can you play that you can play every single game that's not going to kill the players and that we can win games with that suits the squad? So what we've got is kind of what we've got. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm content. I think there's a lot more to come from a lot of the players in the squad. People keep forgetting the squad is very young. You know, there's a lot of young players in this squad who are only going to get better and improve, you know. So there's a natural organic development that happens with players that you don't necessarily see in real time because we watch them every week. But in like a month, 2 months, 3 months, we're going to be like, wow, he's playing really well.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is what I keep saying. When people are, I get it. Everyone wants to see free-flowing, tick-a-tack football. Everyone wants to see, you know, nice football. But, you know, this is a manager that came into, as you said, he's come into a team that did finish 17th. So I know you've won the trophy, but surely you're gonna have a little bit of trepidation and a bit of nervousness as a player because you've lost so many games. Let me ask you, what's been the biggest thing that you can see Thomas Frank has brought to Spurs in the first 3 months of him being here? What's the biggest thing that he's done to Tottenham?
I think, like, I would say the team is efficient. Yeah, like I don't think we create huge amounts of chances, this that per se, but the team is kind of efficient in their style of play. We have a structure. Do you know what I mean? So efficiency, stability, structure, you know, just making ourselves hard to beat. You know, I think that's very important. From if you look at how we played last season, it wasn't that we were easy to beat, it was that a team wouldn't have to create huge amounts of moments in a game to be able to score goals. Do you see what I mean? So a team could create 2-3 moments in a 90-minute game and get 1-2 goals. Like we weren't able to control a game overly. So I think there's a difference between playing a pragmatic style and also, you know, just kind of staying in the game, being, you know, stable. And I think if you look at a lot of the best managers in the league, or you look at some of these like Eddie Howe's team, Arteta's team, a lot of these teams started with stability, having structure, being hard to beat. Do you know what I mean? And then the rest of the football and play, of course. Stability. I mean, watching Nottingham Forest last season, you were boring, but look where you finished. How's attacking free-flowing football doing for you, Wolfie? You enjoying that? Yeah, you enjoying that free-flowing football? Yeah.
Should we? I felt like we should just bring up the video we did earlier and play that for 10 minutes. That would be funny, but I'm not going to.
Put it on loop.
But look, I think the funny thing is that everyone expects that a manager's going to come in and make the team amazing in the space of 7 Premier League games. At the end of the day, if you're offering me the crap I was watching last year or this year, I'm taking this year all day, every day, because somebody summed it up on my show the other day. They said they want to stop being bantered by other fan bases because we're so easy to beat, because we concede so many goals. And this year we've got, is it the 3rd best defense in the league behind, it's the 2nd best defense. If I'm not wrong, the only team that's conceded less goals than us is Arsenal. And let's be fair, I know we hate them, but they are bloody good at the back and they have been for years. So
very strong.
2nd best defense in the league. And the 3rd, listen, as much as I want a new left winger and a new striker, Jay, we are the 3rd top goal scorers in the Premier League. And we're 3rd in the league. I don't know if you saw this stat. We're 3rd in the league. Let me bring this up. We're 3rd in the league for, let me see if I've still got this. There you go. We're 3rd in the league for the percentage of goals from open play. So a lot of people go, oh, well, we only score now from set pieces and throw-ins. No, what people mean is we're actually good from set pieces and throw-ins now, and they confuse that with that's the only way we play. But only one club in the country has got more percentage of goals from us in open play. That club is Aston Villa, by the way, and that club have only scored 6 goals all season. So it's, listen, I just think there's nothing really at the moment we can be. I don't know. Maybe I'm a hypocrite, but I don't see.
Probably because you like the man. I think it's what confirmation bias in it. When you like the manager, you're able to like justify and rationalize his decisions. You know, if Nuno had the same start and played the same side, oh, he's lucky, this, that. I get it. Like, I think if I look at it, I can see where criticisms are coming, but I just look at it. The Prem's a very difficult league. It's just a very, very, you don't exist in isolation. You exist playing, 19 other clubs, and some of those are damn good. Even like the mid-table teams are damn good. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I just think that you want to be competitive. Do you know what I mean? And from that point, that's when you start being upwardly mobile. There's when I watch Arsenal, I'm like, okay, these, like Arsenal, unfortunately, every game they're playing in, they look like they've got a degree of control. They're probably the only team in the Premier League that when I watch a game, like they're not getting, like every other team, if I watch them, like on a given 45 minutes, can get battered by anybody. I'll watch Chelsea, they're getting battered. Watching Liverpool, they're getting battered. Everyone can get battered. So I'm just like, okay, I haven't just make our team competitive, platform our players in the best way, help the players reach their peak performance. Let's see what happens. Other than that, like, it's the best league in the world. The hell am I expecting? Like, you could just be chilling and die from, and Grealish are playing Everton. Like, what are we doing here? Like, these guys will just be running at you, give you a 10 out of 10 performance. You go home with a 3-1 loss, and you're like, what happened?
Look, I think you're right. Arsenal, as much as we're grown-ups, we can give credit where it's due. If I think back to the goal, Arsenal have conceded 3 goals in 7 games. One was an absolute rocket of a free kick from Szoboszlai. One was Erling Haaland running through, and I can't think what the third one was. But this is not a team that ever looked like they're going to be opened up and concede 3 or 4 goals in a game. I make you completely right. And at the end of the day, I know it's not the glamorous side of football, but it's the needed side of football. If you don't concede goals, you're halfway there. However, we are only ever 90 minutes away from meltdown. I know what will happen if we don't beat Aston Villa on Sunday. It will be utter pandemonium, meltdown. Oh my God, we can't win at home. So I always like to keep my powder dry a little bit, but I'm really happy with what's going on, Jay. I'm not seeing anything from Frank that I wasn't expecting. There's the biggest compliment I can give him. And if anyone is surprised, well, this is what you get when you get a proper coach who sets up properly. Yeah. Stage 1, be hard to beat.
So I think I'm probably in your boat, like, but I'll go a little bit further, and I'll be like, the one concern I always had with Frank was attacking patterns, because as a coach of Brentford, that's not what he had to do. So I'm actually seeing, so that's the only extension. Everything you're showing of Frank is absolutely true. But it's also true that the attacking patterns, and I wonder how he progresses the ball and how he makes the side and this and that. I'm still kind of looking for that kind of sweet spot. There's been sparks, and he's got plenty of time with me. Even if the level of attacking patterns did not improve even if we played like of this level of attacking quality all season, I'd still be like, all right, cool. All right, we'll see how it goes next season. I have no demands that it improves immediately. It just improves when it improves, because it could be like you change this and then the team gets exposed. You play this player here and that player there, and we get overrun. So it could be, it's like we said before about changing too many things at the same time. Variables. You change one thing, you change 2 things. How does it affect the team? So I'm with you. I think there's obviously huge room for improvement, but if you're getting good results and there's huge room for improvement, that's a fantastic combination. And I think as well, the team is showing that the team's Obviously coming back from 2-0 down against Bodo, 2-0 down against Brighton as well. You know,
Wolves.
team coming back from against Wolves.
Yep.
Okay, teams got a bit about them. They got a bit,
Yeah.
you know, when they go behind, we can come back, and that's a great attribute to have. Now it's more like, okay, can we score first? Can we dictate? Can we stop the other team playing? Can we suffocate them, etc.? So, yeah, great start. Very, very upwardly mobile. Newcastle's going to be a stinker of a cup tie. We'll deal with that closer to the time. But
It's going to be interesting, that game, because obviously both clubs, Champions League football, Premier League football, Cup football. It's going to be interesting to see what team gets played. And from Sunday, Spurs have got 4 games in 11 days. It's it's relentless now until the next international break. And unfortunately, I think that we're going to see a lot of fans expect win. I say this all the time, Jay. No team just wins. Man City don't win. Liverpool are not win. There's going to be some defeats in there. And it's going to be about how we react. Frank, I think, will be calm about it. I think Frank's been there, seen it, done it. He'll react to it. The fan base, for me, the reaction next time we lose a game, I feel like this good start is almost making people think that we're never going to lose games of football, and we will, Jay. Unfortunately, we will.
Oh, yeah, you're right, and I think you're right in terms of like the approach of like the fans and stuff. I guess the caveat or the thing I'll say to fans to say I agree with you or I hear where you're coming from would be like the performance in lieu of losing. So like when we lost to Bournemouth, the performance was like, I get why people were like, what? Like what?
No, sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Because that was that. I was like, what is this? Like you're watching it, you're like, what is this? And it's like it's Wolves second half. You can also be like, what is this? Like we lost control and we can't get it back. What are we doing? So those performances are kind of like fans will then be like, oh man, I'm worried about Frank. Can he coach an attacking team? Teams can just do this and do that. So, but then also you look at it the other side, it's early, we're stable. Wolves still didn't have a huge amount of chances, scored from a kind of a ricochet from a corner. So even in that game, on another day, we win it with a last minute Palhinha winner because we don't give away a silly goal. So I just think you want to stay in the game, right? It's nothing to it's nothing to worry about too much yet, but we shall see.
Yeah. By the way, Matt in the chat, you do make me laugh. So if we lose to Villa, you're saying it's 3 steps backwards. I don't know how you got to 3 steps, but if we win, it reinforces top 4. Like I feel like surely there's got to be a middle ground here. Aston Villa aren't mugs. And let's just for the last 5 minutes or so, Jay, let's talk about the Villa game, because Aston Villa started the season poorly. They didn't win in 4 games, and now they've not lost in 7. So I think everyone went a little bit too early, Jay, on Aston Villa are done. They're terrible. They're this dreadful football team. When you've got the caliber of players they've got and you've got the caliber of manager they've got, they're never going to be in a slump for long. That makes this a really tricky game, right? Both clubs, 7 games unbeaten. Unless we draw, something's got to give. Someone's going to have to lose that good run.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be Villa.
I hope so.
It will be Villa. I mean, yeah, they're improving, but their team, they're a decent team. They're going to come, and Emery's going to tactically try and set up. But I think Villa's more kind of, I guess you can maybe argue like our level, like finish where they're finishing, out the seasons they've had over the last couple of years. I expect them to come out a little bit more against us than other teams have. They'll obviously have a good press, and Emery will tactically set up in a way to try and stop us. But I also think, okay, now we're starting to, there's a couple of patterns. We're trying to see a couple of things, like see Simmons in the 10, try a couple more attacks and stuff. And I think we'll Richie's had bad games, but I think Tel's making good runs, like trying to link a little bit more, helping the team get up the pitch. So I think we'll beat Villa. They don't have tools that hurt. That I don't look at what they've got from an ammunition point of view. and even Watkins might be missing, but I look at what they've got, and it doesn't worry me. It's not like I'm like, okay, well,
No.
do you know what I mean?
Villa's always more been about how they set up. You know, tactically, Emery's been. Let's not gloss over this. Emery's been brilliant for Aston Villa for the last 2.5, 3 years. He's gone in there and made them a very stable football club after they were very much this. Do I look at their players and fear them? I think if they had like Rashford and Asensio, I think yes, because that's a lot of pace and a lot of goals in there. At the moment, I don't see it's the same Villa, but they still got a lot of good pros in there. The likes of Kamara, John McGinn, the likes of Tielemans.
Yeah. Both of those are good players.
So
Rogers, Watkins. Yeah, defense is pretty. Like Konsa's good. Like Konsa. But other than that, I feel like. Go on.
No, go on. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying, like, I feel like they've, like, some of their players are just, I just think that they're a decent side. They're a good team. And I think they're capable. Like, they've still got some X factor in Rodgers, Tielemans, good player. Like, they've got good players, but every team in the Premier League has good players. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, so I'm just looking at them as a team where it's like, it's obviously we're capable of losing if we don't turn up. If we don't put in a good performance, we will lose. You know, that's fair. But it's like, if we put in a decent performance or good performance, we should win. That's kind of as simple as it is. And I think Frank needs to kind of just be like, right, if he wants to just play dual football, we'll find it difficult. I think he has to say, right, we're gonna try, you know, Odebears, Simmons, Tel up top, maybe even Bergvall in the pivot with Palhinha, and just be like, right, players, pass and move, technical players, a lot of that. Try them, see how they do, see if Villa can cope with us. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I'll show you what I think it's going to be. This is what I think the 11 will be. We're going to wrap up the show in a minute. By the way, Wolfie, as much as you're bantering, it's definitely, you know, we've got to sort out the home form, not from this season. I mean, just from the last 18 months or so, we've got to sort out the home form. But this is what I think the team will be. Wolfie, are we still streaming Friday morning, mate? You blew me out last week. Are we still streaming this week? This is what I think it will be. Obviously with Vicario in goal, I think it's going to be that.
Yeah, that looks about right. I think you could make a case for Sarr over Bentancur, depending if Bentancur travelled a lot.
So Sarr.
Yeah, because like you might want his running ability against Villa. I think that looks like that is probably going to be the team for me.
Yeah, I've got a feeling it'll be that. And very last question: Do you think we're going to see Randall Kolo Muani get some minutes against Villa, or has it come all a bit too soon for him?
Depends, you know. It really depends on what the result is. Because if Tel starts, you make the argument that Richie's the alternative. And you know, if we're winning or something like that, you might bring on Bergvall or you might bring on Bentancur. Sarr goes into the 10, Simmons moves wide, Richie comes on up front. So the number of, you know, I think it depends on the results and maybe what Frank's seen from him, whether he trusts him to close a game out or whether he trusts him to change it. I think it's more feasible that he gets some meaningful minutes against Monaco because kind of Tel's obviously not eligible. So this is where it's a big, you know, it goes back to the Tel being a big game for Tel because if he scores, he probably keeps his shirt next week unless Richie scores. Do you see what I mean? So there's a log jam of strikers behind him, but if he's starting and he's scoring, you're keeping your place.
I'll be honest. I'll say this. I think this is the worst set of strikers I've ever seen at Tottenham. At one time. Normally,
relative versus the league, how bad is it?
Listen, Muani, I'm going to keep my powder dry on because I think it's really unfair to judge a man that hasn't played. The other three do nothing for me. Tel, Richie and Solanke do nothing for me. People can put them in whatever order they want. I just think that it's okay for the moment. I think if you want to move from there to there to there to there, I think you've got to start saying where's the top centre forward, and I don't think we've got it at all. That's only my opinion.
No, I hear it, and I think sometimes I look at it, but I look at other teams and I'm like, I mean, how much better are your strikers? I'm like,
no, mate. I think I think strikers in world football in general, Jay, are the worst I've seen.
That's what I'm saying. So it's relative. Like it's like everyone's different cheeks of the same ass. Do you know what I mean? So people are upset about our fault. I'm like, bro, this team. Do you know who Emery would murder to have our set of strikers? He would trade.
Do you think
he would trade his attackers for our attackers all day long. All day long. 100%.
Watkins and Calamundo for Richie and Solanke.
Oh man, like what do you mean? He's Donny Marlin, Guessant, bro. Of course he's trading his attackers for our attackers.
Not Calamundo. Sorry, I'm talking about Guessant. Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure. No, not for me.
Of course he's got Sancho and shit. Of course he's trading for our attackers.
Let's be honest. Ollie Watkins is better than any of our centre forwards.
Man, Watkins is good, but like he's a little better than Solanke. He's a little better than Solanke. He's not miles better than Solanke or anything.
10 times over 10, I'd take him
Yeah,
out.
but that's so if you told him you could have all our attackers or he could just keep Watkins. Yeah.
Hang on, listen. By the way, this isn't me saying they're amazing, by the way, but I'm looking at Marlon, Watkins, Guessant.
Marlon, bro, Marlon wouldn't even get in our 20-man squad. Fuck that.
What, over Tel and Odeber?
20-man squad, man.
Over Tel and Odeber.
Man, Marlon, no, I'm saying our 20-man squad would have like Solanke, like obviously you got Kulu, Mathys. He won't get in our 20-man squad.
Is he better than Odeber and Tel?
He get in a squad with multiple injuries, sure.
Is he better than Odeber and Tel?
With people fit, no chance.
Is he better than Odeber and Tel?
Donny Marlin. I mean, listen. I'm just gonna say, yeah. If you offered them Tel for Donny Marlin, they're swapping it.
No,
they're swapping it, man.
This is a good time to end the show.
They're swapping it, bro. There's a reason Donny Marlin was like 20 million and Mathys Tel was like 35 million plus. Yeah,
no, that's called robbery. We were robbed.
They're still swapping it, man.
Absolutely robbed. By the way, I don't want Donny Marlin, by the way, right? I can't just say I don't want Marlin.
Nah, but come on, man. He's just, but honestly, like, he's a decent player.
I don't want him.
But he's not good.
But Tel and Odeber are not better than Donny Marlin. The thing is,
listen, I'm not saying they're better than him now. I'm just saying if you offered Villa a swap, they'd swap because they know the upside of those players is more than Marlon. Marlon couldn't even get in their Champions League squad last season. Yeah. No. So I hear what you're saying.
Tel can't get in our Champions League squad this season.
Donny Marlin, he wouldn't get in our Champions League squad.
Tel hasn't got in our Champions League squad this
season.
That's
what I'm saying. Would Donny Marlin get in our Champions League squad? Okay, maybe over Odeber. Maybe.
Listen,
maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look.
I'll be honest.
I'll be honest.
I don't care what Aston Villa are doing with their forwards. We're Spurs. We've got a lot of money and we're a Champions League team. I don't care what other clubs do. We should be buying better forwards, and we have to if we want to improve. We have to, that's just the way it is. Yeah, I think if you look at the clubs above us, they've got better attacking players, and we need better attacking players. It can't just be.
We need our attacking players to be better.
Again, Matt, I don't think you listen. No one's hyping up Marlon. We were saying who's better, Marlon or Thing.
So in the chat, I think there's some people who are saying some crazy things about Donny Marlon, man.
Like, I think Donny Marlon's a decent footballer. No more,
7 out of 10 player.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want him. I don't want him at Spurs, but I also don't want Tel or Odeber. So, look, it is. By the way, the guy that said that did want to buy Tyler Dibbling over Savio. So, yeah. You have to ask questions. Anyway, Jay, it's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been a good show, man. It's been a good show.
Always, mate. Let's just, who are our mates
Thanks,
Nottingham
Wolfie.
Forest playing this
Thanks.
weekend?
I'm trying to
So
be
we can-
diplomatic, Wolfie.
Who are Forest losing to this weekend? Is it Chelsea?
I think it's you know what? Yeah, you know what? We need this to prolong, so we need a result. A draw's nice. Draw's nice.
I'm happy for Chelsea to beat them. I'm happy.
Nah. I mean, he needs
For
a
this
little
guy.
respite. He needs
For
a
this
little
guy.
bit.
For this guy, Jay, I'm always happy to want the other team to win.
Yeah, Wolfie deserves all the misery, like all of the misery.
All of
Yeah,
it.
100%. Yeah, that without. In that instance, based on Wolfie being upset, I 100% need a child. Oh, yeah, definitely give him a drubbing. But I think
I want to see Sean Dyche as the manager of Nottingham Forest this
you know what? Yeah, like just it's so interesting. This kind of like this Forest are weird because just really quickly is that Forest, no team.
Let's talk about Nottingham Forest for an hour.
Just to finish this off, I just want to be like, no team would be coming to Nottingham Forest playing a low block. Do you know what I mean? They could have got away with the style of play that they were playing under Nuno for at least another couple of years.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
So they didn't need to do anything and change anything because no one would be coming to Forest and shitting it. Do you know what I mean? They'd just be trying to play them and you just be like, so going to Dyche, and to me, it's like Nuno, he got to a good level with Wolves, played Europe, got Forest to a high level. I just don't, even from a personality point of view, I think Nuno has a better personality for the players. I'm not sure how some of these players will take to Dyche and his, approach and stuff like that.
What about Russell Martin? Could they hire
I think
Russell
Martin is a much better fit for where Forest are going. I think that's...
Or Gerrard?
Gerrard to Forest could work. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I want to see it.
I'll take it.
And just because
I've become like Anakin. I'm moving over to the dark side. I'm officially Ange out.
It took less than 7 games. I love Wolfie. I honestly, Wolfie, I know you're in the chat, and I love the fact that you call me rent free while you're commenting in my chat. Wolfie is one of the best content creators out there. He just gets the game. He is brilliant. YouTube would be a worse place without Wolfie. I'm saying it. I truly mean that. AI generated. Right, guys, we are going to leave it there. Let's see who we can ping you all over to. Let's see who's live.
I think Jordan. I think he's doing Spurs.
What, George?
George, yeah.
Okay, let's see if he's live right now. Redirect.
I think he is because I was meant to be there 20 minutes ago. So yeah,
there you go. I've just sent you all over to Do Rag Diaries. When you get there, please get over there and just say Marlon for Spurs. No, don't. Just say Savva Raid. Much love. Listen, Jay, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate your time.
Great. Yeah, fantastic. Really enjoyed it. It was great. It was a great chat. It was a great chat. Much appreciated. I will be back, people.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, listen, I'm leaning a lot more these days on YouTube towards the one-on-ones. I feel like you get much better conversation than the panel shows where it's just 6 or 7 people all shouting over each other. Listen, guys, get over to Direct Diaries, subscribe to the man, send him some super chats, whatever you got to do. But just say Savva Raid. Take care. Much love. I'll be back tomorrow for something at some point. But as always, come on, you Spurs.